Hey everybody, NCWQ here. Today is 10/7/2024. Time is 8:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. We are taking a look at Hurricane Milton, who is now a Category 3 hurricane. This is Milton over here in the Gulf of Mexico, and we will take a look at where Milton is headed. First, we'll take a look at everything to do with Milton. Milton is moving east-southeast at 8 miles per hour with a minimum pressure of 745 millibars, max sustained winds 125 miles per hour. So we take a look at the cone here. The cone shows that Milton plans on coming down here towards Mexico as a major storm. Will be doing a little bit of a turn and then up towards Florida, crossing Florida as a hurricane, and then off into the Atlantic where it supposedly will become a tropical storm. So let's take a look at it on windy, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff. So this is it right here, and we'll take a look at it on radar here. So this is on windy, and as we see, it's coming down here. The eye just sort of grazes along Mexico, but does not come ashore. And then we see that it comes across the peninsula here as it makes its way towards Florida. We're trying to see where it's coming across where Florida is. So it looks like it's coming up towards Sarasota, Tampa Bay area, and then crossing across Florida around Palm Bay area and back out into the ocean here, and then sort of gets torn apart as a storm. So, as news, we can see that Hurricane Milton is rapidly intensifying and it has become a major storm. Milton has strengthened into a Category 3 as of early Monday, with driving sustained winds of 125 miles per hour in the Gulf of Mexico. It's already going towards an area that has been battered, which is the west coast of Florida. The National Hurricane Center has issued hurricane watches across portions of Florida and warned that portions of the state could be overwhelmed by life-threatening storm surge, flooding, rain, and damaging winds. Milton is forecast to become an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane later Monday and maintain that intensity for the next couple of days. A Category 4 hurricane features sustained winds of 130 to 156 miles per hour. Some weakening is then forecast before the hurricane reaches the coast, but Milton is still likely to be a large and powerful hurricane at landfall in Florida. Hurricane Center specialist Jack Brevin wrote in an advisory, rainfall is expected to total 5 to 10 inches in some areas of the state that were saturated even before Hurricane Helene smashed shore less than 2 weeks ago. Isolated communities could see 15 inches. What could be a deadly storm surge of 8 to 12 feet is forecast for Tampa and nearby coastal areas. The track guidance is good agreement that the hurricane will cross Florida Peninsula, but there remain significant differences in both the location and timing of landfall. Milton was centered 745 miles south west-southwest of Tampa early Monday, moving east-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Mexico has issued a hurricane warning for the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula from Celestun to Rio Lagartos. Mandatory evacuation orders are expected Monday, and I did see that there were some evacuation orders yesterday. Pinellas, Manatee, and Sarasota were among counties expected to announce evacuation orders Monday. Pinellas County, which includes the city of St. Petersburg, was expected to announce mandatory evacuations for 500,000 people in low-lying areas. Sheriff Bob Gualtieri said Sunday he urged people to heed evacuation orders after he said too many ignored them for Helene, resulting in 12 deaths in the county and 1,500 emergency calls that went unanswered. The county has already ordered the evacuation of 6 hospitals, 25 nursing homes, and 44 assisted living facilities, totaling 6,600 patients. And I have also know that there's mandatory evacuations that are beginning in Tampa Bay area. As Hurricane Milton barrels towards Florida, many Tampa Bay area residents are preparing to evacuate. Milton is expected to make landfall in Florida as a Category 3 on Wednesday, but this could also be Category 4. The NHC says the risk of life-threatening impacts is increasing for parts of the West Coast. Some models are showing that the storm could directly hit the Bay Area. Manatee County said mandatory evacuations of Zone A and B will begin at 2 p.m. Monday. This includes mobile homes. Anna Maria Island, the city of Anna Maria, said mandatory evacuations of the island will be ordered by 12 p.m. today. City Hall is open on Sunday, which was yesterday, until 4. Pasco County is under an order of local state emergency. Mandatory evacuations for Zone A and B, and residents in mobile homes, low-lying areas, and flood-prone areas go into effect today at 10 a.m. According to officials, residents in Zone C are under voluntary evacuation. Pinellas County is issuing a mandatory evacuation order for long-term care facilities, assisted living facilities, and hospitals in evacuation zones A, B, and C. Okay. Um, Ryan Trekloot, chief meteorologist for weather, says Helene and Milton are likely to go down as among the most devastating 1-2 punch ever to hit Florida. The most recent track would put landfall somewhere between the Nature Coast and Marco Island. Um, he added that the exact track forecast is not crucial because impacts are going to be widespread throughout Florida Peninsula, and Milton will be a ferocious storm, building up life-threatening wall of water over days, no matter what wind-based hurricane category the storm ultimately reaches at landfall, he wrote. So let's back this up a little bit so y'all can see what it's going to look like when it hits Florida. Oops, I'm pulling the wrong one. Okay. Um, they're also stating that this could be a hurricane that Tampa Bay has been dreading for years. The threat level is Milton. Hurricane Milton is projected to be a Category 3 or stronger when it makes landfall. It's expected to bring 10 feet or more of storm surge, almost double that of Hurricane Helene, which killed 12 people in Pinellas County alone. It's going to be bad. That's all you need to know. Pinellas Sheriff Bob Gualtieri said during an emergency news conference Sunday afternoon, everyone just needs to get out. St. Petersburg Mayor Ken Welch said Milton is the most impactful storm that they've faced. State of play, Pinellas officials said they'll likely order mandatory evacuations for Zone A, B, and C. For Helene, only Zone A was ordered to evacuate. In the past, they've not forced people to leave, but they're going to be more assertive this time. They can't have tragedy like they had a week and a half ago. Tampa Bay has long been regarded as among the most vulnerable major U.S. regions to hurricanes because of the storm surge threat. The region has had destructive near misses, most recently Helene and last August Idalia, but Milton could be the first major hurricane in more than a century to hit the region directly. Bottom line, the hurricane track could shift. Milton poses a potential worst-case scenario for storm surge flooding in highly populated portions of Florida's west coast. So let's say if it shifts this way at all, okay, then Tampa would be spared, but these areas here still need to be evacuated. Okay, so that would be a good thing. All right, you guys, that's the update. I hope you guys are doing well. I will be back on and remember to keep this updated. Please remember to share the video and let other people know that there is a major, major hurricane getting ready to come ashore in Florida. You might help save a life. Please be prepared if you live there. Please heed evacuation warnings and be prepared. I know there's not really many places to go except inland, um, like in this direction. Um, anyways, you guys, I love you, and I hope that you all will have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world.